Well, you haven't been on the podcast since episode 67, The Hobbit with Annika. It is now episode 122. And so it's been almost twice the length of our podcast existing that you've been on.
Yeah.
You've been saying what you've been watching, but like as of this week, what have you been watching? We've been kind of catching up like that. Anything that you've been binging or been excited to see?
I've I've just been rewatching The Office while I've been working, just because it's so easy. When I watch something, I want to watch it, but when I'm working, I can't watch it, so I kind of just listen. And I've seen it so many times, it just kind of pops up in my head. So I'm on season 3 of The Office, but my friends and I went and saw the new How to Train Your Dragon, which kind of ties in what we're going to talk about here later.
Sure.
It I've never seen the original, so like this was kind of my first look, and it was
Sorry, you are the person I was asking Ellie about. Is like who out there has not seen the original? I don't even know if you knew the story, but how you would tell or how you would watch the live action without knowing, because that was part of my review. Is that it's not fun when I already have seen the movie. It's supposed to be a new experience, but it doesn't feel new. So sorry, what did you think about seeing it? Did you know the story beforehand?
I somewhat knew the story. Like, obviously, I see things. You kind of know the general story just from general hubbub of just knowing things. And I I didn't think it was bad, but just knowing like what the controversy on social media has been around movies of that sort, of just remaking the same movie, is like Dad and I were talking about it, is there is no real originality in movies now, because they're just making the live action version of the same movie. And
A
from
story
what
that's
my
already
friend
been
said,
made.
exactly, and what my friend said is it's pretty much word for word the same movie, except they switched some characters race around. Um, and
Yep.
so that was just a little.
Well,
Otherwise, I thought it was a good movie. They did a good balance of the dragons being live action while also keeping that cartoon look and feel. So I enjoyed seeing that. So
they released a behind the scenes of what Toothless could have looked like.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you see it? I'll put it up on screen, but I'm sure you've seen it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I've seen it.
I actually liked it only because I feel like Toothless was more animated than his counterparts and felt more fake in a more real world.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, and I get that. As like going in, I've obviously seen Toothless, so it kind of looks like they took the cartoon and slapped some scales on it, and it didn't feel almost scary enough like all the other dragons. There was
Yeah.
some, obviously there is some fantasy with like the big one with little wings and whatnot, but it still didn't feel like real enough with everyone else being real. And so I think there's also a fine line between having the realistic and also keeping some of that fun fantasy, which would have been an interesting take, but I feel like most people wouldn't have liked seeing a real dragon, because they know Toothless as like this big green-eyed, uh, loving, protecting, friendly dragon,
who acts like a cat and dog mixture, depending on the day. Yeah.
And then obviously The Last Rodeo and Mission Impossible were the last movies that I've seen. A friend asked me to go see Lilo and Stitch, and I said no, just because
we
I've
also
heard
have not seen Lilo and Stitch.
I haven't seen the original, but I heard that the remake was just horrible.
Watch the original.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, we could go down a whole rabbit hole, but we're already multiple minutes in.